Hi guys, I'm Echo. A few days or weeks ago, I posted a video talking about the difference between VRCLens and VRCHAT and which one I prefer. In that video, I mostly said that I prefer VRCLens due to the fact that you can use it on desktop and VR, and of course do all the tools that this camera have to offer, such as depth of field, rule of third, different chromas, exposure, different zoom, and a bunch of other stuff. I've been using VRC lenses for more than 2 years already making photography in VRChat, and as I said, it's one of my main tools at the moment to make pictures. But there's something that virtual lens and VRC lens doesn't have that I miss a lot in VRChat, and it's the possibility to control the shutter speed. Have you ever seen those pictures where you can see all the trails that a body leaves, or when you see a car on a hallway and you can see all the trails of the light? That is a picture that was made with a low shutter speed. Usually in real life we take picture at a fraction of a second. 500 fraction of a second, 1,000, 4,000, 8,000, a half fraction of a second, or even a second, right? Lower shutter speed means more time that the sensor have to record the scene. So if somebody moves, you will see how looks that it's actually moved and it's not completely freeze. I thought that something like that was completely impossible in VR, such as all the cameras that I've been testing never had a tool like that until now. Right now, I'm in a world called camera key integral test suit. In this world, VRC lenses and virtual lens has a world to test the product with an example avatar, and in this case, I'm in a similar place. Right now, I'm in a world to test integral. I found this camera on Twitter, and user talking about it and how with this camera you're allowed to control shutter speed. I was like, okay, calm down. It doesn't have to be that cool. So I decided to come to the world and test it. The avatar is right here, and I have pretty interesting thing to say about this product because I have a bunch of interesting stuff, but at the same time, I don't know if completely worth it for some cases. But before that, let me show you what you can do with this product.
At first, Integral looks like a typical camera. We can see information such as focal length, apertures, shutter speed, focus distance, how far the camera will render, and so on. We control the focus point touching the screen as the same ways as VRCLens or virtual lens. But we can notice how it looks completely black at the moment to use the VRChat camera. This is actually a pretty cool feature because, as you can see, we take the picture through the menu itself. If we select the option single, we are gonna take a perfect single picture. And after that, we can click the trigger with the VRChat camera and that's it, the picture is saved. Then we can click on clear and the camera is ready for another picture. Nothing that cool so far. Until now. With this camera, we can take double exposure picture, just like with film. If we press single, we move the camera and then we press single again, we're gonna get a double exposure picture. With integral, we can take all the pictures that we want in the same frame. Pretty cool. And of course, we can't forget the main feature of this camera, shutter speed. With this camera, we can control how much time we want the shutter open. We can use the typical bulb mode that will leave the shutter open until we decided to stop it from the menu. We have a button called open that will leave the shutter open until we release the button, and the typical shutter speed option that you can set up from 0.01 to 30 seconds open and then will automatically stop. I decided to test the camera in public lobbies and the result was simply amazing. But there is something that Integral is doing pretty wrong, at least in my opinion, and is the depth of field at big apertures. Why? Just look. At the moment to change the aperture, I noticed that all started to shake. For a moment I thought it was a render problem, like when you move too far on Unity and the game started to shake, so I tried to change all the settings and the result it was always the same. Maybe it's because it's a demo product? Or maybe it's just a problem with the integral screen, and if I take the picture you won't see the weird movement. Nope, the picture is all shaky too. After looking and looking and testing, I discovered why this was happening. What the camera is doing is to freeze what is on the focus point and shake all the rest of the scene to reach this blurry background effect. This is probably the technique that integral used to change the shape of the bokeh, because with integral you have an option to change the shape of the bokeh to circular, to make it a star, a heart, and so on. The real problem with this is the fact that it's too difficult to take a simple portrait, because the model must be completely frozen to avoid the shaking effects on you. So if you move, you will see it on the final image. I tried everything to see if there was a way to take a proper portrait, such as change the shape of the bokeh, change the focus point, take a picture of the background and then me, first me and then the background, and everything was useless. I wasn't able to take a simple portrait with integral.
After test this product for a few hours with the demo avatar, because I don't have the product yet, the first thing that I have to say is I love the possibility to have shutter speed in VRChat. I mean, it opens a whole new way to make pictures. There's no other product, at least that I know, that you can have all that VRCLens or VRCHAT have, plus shutter speed. This camera only is cool for shutter speed, and it's pretty cool. But the problem is the fact that with VRCLens, you have to pay only $11 to have all the functionality that you know about VRCLenses. And on the case of VRCLens, it's like $9. The problem here is that the only cool thing is the fact that you can control shutter speed and cost $50. $50 for shutter speed.
Hi guys, Echo from the future again. At the moment to edit this video, integral now costs 5,000 yens, that is the equivalent of $35. And in my opinion it's still pretty expensive, because with that amount of money you can buy an entire avatar or even a VRChat world. It's still pretty expensive in my opinion in comparison with virtual lenses or VRC lenses.
In my opinion, it's worth it? No. Because you are not having VRC lenses or virtual lens plus shutter speed. You are just having shutter speed. We already see the way that this camera make like the blurry background, shaking the camera, and that for example a portrait, it's a pain on the ass. But in my opinion, if I buy integral for $50 and I get this technique for the blurry background, it's an awful way to get it. Meanwhile, even look, this video is recorded with the main VRChat camera. And look at the blurry background, it's already cool. The possibility to control shutter speed, select how much time you want the shutter open, it's extremely cool, really nice, and I already have a bunch of ways and ideas to use this possibility. But for $50, I think it's not worth it. I'm gonna end up buying it, probably, if I don't find another camera like VRC lenses or virtual lens that include shutter speed. Or maybe if Hiraviki or Logic can add something like this to their product, even if you have to pay more, it's gonna be completely worth it. But just for shutter speed, I don't know if it's worth it to pay $50. I really want shutter speed on a camera, and this is what my literally first time using a camera with shutter speed in VRChat in my +2 year that I've been playing. If you want to try it by your own, the world is going to be on the description down below, and the comparative between VRC lens and virtual lens is going to be there too, so you can actually compare what tool this camera have in comparison with the others too. I really recommend you to check that video if you don't know what VRC lens or virtual lens is and what you can do with those products. Test it by your own. It's a little bit weird to use. I like the fact that how you have to take the pictures, because you freeze the image into the camera and then you take the picture with the VRChat camera. That is actually pretty cool. And I actually like that way to take pictures. So there you have it, the review or my impressions about integral. But for now, the weird way to make the blurry background or all that stuff, it's something that I don't like at all. It looks glitchy. It's weird to take a portrait. Maybe there's a way to freeze the subject and just move the background. But I wasn't able to do it because maybe it's not that intuitive, and we don't have to forget that the entire website or even the world, it's in Japanese. So if you don't know Japanese, you have to just test each of the tools and the menus. So there's not much that I can say about it. I really fully recommend you to test it if you are interested to shutter speed in VRChat. But for now, I still prefer VRC lenses. I hope this video was entertaining for you, and it was actually a good way to show you this cool new camera. And if you like VRChat photography or even photography in general, I fully recommend you to subscribe to the channel. I'll leave a comment down below about what do you want to see. So feel free to subscribe, give me that thumbs up if you like the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.